Welcome to join the conversation. We're a bit delayed because of technicalities, but besides that, we're here. Coach 𝗝cie__𝗃𝗲𝗁𝗁. I'm an international accredited life transformation coach. I'm also a metallurgical engineer. I'm an energy healer and so many titles that I have. But today is not about me. Today is about my lovely guest, that is Dolly Ngubane. She'll tell you who she is and what is join the conversation to those who are listening to this for the first time. So it's where I interview women from all walks of life. And I normally do this in August, but this year I said, let me do it in July and August because I haven't done this in a space of 4 years where we hear wisdom and the nuggets of how women are doing it out there and how they overcame the challenges. Because some people won't be able to attend an event where they are motivated. They won't be able to go to a therapist, but just listening to someone that can help them to see life differently and show them you're not the only one going through the same challenges. So this is about that and for you to be inspired. And if you're interested to be part of this, do send me a message on 06050866165. We still have slots for you to share, and you don't have to be a perfect speaker. I've received people say, no, I don't think I can speak. Even myself, I don't know how to speak. So you need to start somewhere because you're being given the platform for your voice to be heard as well. So with that being said, welcome. And some will be listening to this as a recording. So do type replay when you're listening, and throughout engage with my guests. Say hi to her when you tune in. And if you've got any questions, do ask them. And later as well, she'll come back and respond. So let's get to the order of the day. Welcome, Dolly. Tell us who you are and what you do. I know you've got so many titles, so tell us who you are.
All right. Well, my name is Dolly Ngubane. I am the founder of 𝗝ecie Naturals. It's a skincare brand. We do manufacturing on our own. And I'm also a healer. I would say an energy healer. I've been in the journey of self-discovery, and I found myself here doing what I'm doing already, which is building the brand of 𝗝ecie Naturals. Yeah, and also a cosmetologist. I have like a 20 years experience in the beauty industry. And well, what also made me do what I'm doing right now is that I've merged both my gifts and my talents into the brand that I'm building. And I'm also crazy about natural healing, you know, spiritually, physically, overall wellness. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I see there are likes as well, so welcome. So one might ask, how did I know Dolly? So when you're a business person, you need to network. And to those who will be coming to our retreat, she's busy curating a beautiful gift for all of you. So do register to the Healing the Mother Wound retreat, which will be in Middelburg, Mpumalanga, and KZ. And so do send me a message if you're interested. And yes, she's already started working on the gifts, and you love it. Thank you so much for that. They're almost done, yay!
2 days.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So running a business is challenging. How have you managed that?
Well, I can't say it has been easy, to be honest, because literally everybody that starts a business, it's for them to be able to feed their family. I'm a mother of 3, right? And I have two preteens who always say, "Mommy, I want mommy that, mommy that," and knowing from where I come from, because I come from Hammerskraal. The first 10 years of my life, I had my grandmother and my mother in the same house. And then my mother got married, and then we moved to Johannesburg when I was like 14. You understand? So I understand as a child, there's things that you yearning. And every time when you grow up, you don't want your children to have the same experiences that you had. So with me, when I started, it was for me to be able to provide, for me to be able to help my husband, who is actually a primary provider, So when I started, it was in 2016. So me being in a beauty industry and having been a beauty consultant with a sales marketing company. I used to promote big brands when I was younger. And when in 2011 I lost my job, I decided to rent a stall. I decided to rent a table in 𝗖cie his𝗃𝗲𝗏𝗀𝗁, and I started doing nails. I still had the passion for beauty, and from nails I did hair, and from hair I started selling, weaves and stuff, and that is actually how I met my husband as well. So I was like, when you want to provide for your family, if I have to answer the question that you're answering. But in 2016, 3 kids later, I wanted to, so I got a job that I lasted actually 3 months in it. So they were selling this Himalayan salt lamps, and I was really passionate about health, and it's a vegan health shop. So you'll understand, at a vegan health shop, you're finding your ashwagandhas, you're finding your chlorella, you're finding all this thing. And then something within me kind of came out. I was like, I'm passionate about this. And I started selling the Himalayan salt lamps since 2016. So that's when the Marito Naturals really started. And fast forward in 2019, fast forward in 2021, I went into initiation, and I would always ask myself, what am I doing here? Like, it's so hard here. And, and you're picking up on energies, and you're like, this is not how this is supposed to be, because things can really be hard in there. And I found myself always grinding, pounding, imiti, and I didn't understand why. That's where I found my peace. And in 2023, when I came back, I merged what I've learned in there to the beauty industry, to the holistic beauty. And that's when I started creating my products. And when it started, I wasn't really making much money, but I was really thankful that I'm able to buy necessary things in the house. You understand? So, but the business has been really good, and it has grown through resilience and persistence. Yeah.
Thank you so much. You talk about resilience and persistence. In your business, how would you define that journey for someone who's starting a business? They are confused. And I still want to get to the part of energy healing for those who don't know what it is, because it depends on the person. What they do is different. It's not what the beauty is that it's not what you read. It's important to hear from the person to tell you what they do as well. It's to demystify that as well.
Yeah. So when you are in a business and know why you are in the business, it's easy for you to keep on going, even when you feel like giving up. And when you know that the business that you are doing it is what you are meant to be doing. It's part of your journey here on earth. Even when you feel like giving up, you push, you know. Feeling like giving up, it's normal because you're a human being with a lot of emotions. But you need to remind yourself why. Starting a business is not only to provide for your family. You know, starting a business is that you create something that someone is going to use on their body, on their self, and it's going to make a difference. And this is what I always say to, because I'm always at the markets, getting people to try on my products. And other people will say, no, I'm busy. Oh, no, I'm coming back. And it's like, you know what? All I need is for you to try just a little bit. You can walk away. You can come back if you want. And all I need you to give is for you to give me a chance to try my product. And I would say 70% they do come back, thank God. And so knowing why you are doing it what keeps you going. And for me, I always thank the customers that buy. I was like, thank you for giving it a try, and I know you're going to enjoy it. I know how the product will make you feel, and that's exactly why I'm doing it. And that's why I cannot give up, you know, yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. To those who just joined us, welcome. Just say hello so that we can see you wherever you are. And if you've got questions for our guests, Dolly, do ask as well. And to those who are listening to it as a replay, as a recording, do type replay and also say hi to us. Another thing that I want to ask you in terms of you volunteered to be part of this. What is the key message you'd like to share with someone who's listening today?
Well, yeah, there's a lot. There are a lot of messages. Since I said yes to this, like when I go to bed at night, it's like no, I'm sleeping, I don't need to write this down. But here's the thing, because I don't think anybody has a blueprint of life, how life should go, but we learn as we go. And I'm going to share with the journey that I'm on. I'm in a season of manifesting things, manifesting people as well. And I believe each and every person that's watching this, they wish they had certain things in their lives. They wish they could do certain things, which requires money. So I have been doing money manifestation recently, and I think last year there was a time whereby I didn't want to hear anything, didn't want to listen to podcasts that I used to listen to. I didn't want to, because I used to listen to Neville Goddard a lot and Abraham Hicks, and I didn't want to listen because I was like, I've tried everything, it's not happening, and I felt in my spirit that, you know what, go to YouTube, the third video you find, you're going to listen to that and you're going to live by that. And I did that, and I discovered the teachings of 𝗖cie_𝗃𝗲𝗁𝗁. He that speaks about your word is your wand. And when I started listening to the teachings, and I realized that a lot of fortune things that are happening in our lives is because of what we say with our mouths. A lot of bad things that happen in our lives is because what we say with our own mouths. When you say, I'm an unlucky person, oh, I know that I'm unlucky. I know that okay. That means you're unlucky and you're going to experience whatever results that come out of your unluckiness. So you kind of like reprogram your mind, you know, reprogram your mind, speak to your money. And when I started listening to the 21 days, 21 days money reprogramming that I listened to overnight. And I remember on the second day of listening to that, I picked up 50 Rand in the middle of the road in Commissioner Street. And I was like, how many people have passed or walked over this 50 bucks? Like me in the middle of Commissioner Street, where there's like a million people passing, and I see that 50 Rand and I picked it up. And that's when I knew that my channels have really opened. And they didn't open because maybe somebody told me to go to the water and go pray there, or I must go to a waterfall, or I must go to, you understand, or I must go to a pastor who's more powerful. Well, somebody did tell me that, and I was like, no, I'm not going there, you know? And I was like, so this means what I'm doing, I'm on the right path, which means what I'm doing is right, whereby you command your money. Every cent that comes within your hands, you speak to it and say, thank you for coming into my life. I honor you. I welcome more of you. And trust me, since that time, a lot of great things have happened. You being one of them. Yeah. So command, like, be careful of your speech. You know, what you speak upon your children, you know, it sticks. You know, the Bible says you command over things, you know. It says you have your tongue is a double-edged sword. So a double-edged sword, it cuts, you know, on both ways. It will be up to you. What is it that it cuts? Whether it cuts your good fortunes or it cuts your bad fortunes. But all of that, it lies in here, in your tongue. Yeah.
That's powerful. That's powerful. And to someone, what else can you tell them? Because I know at the moment, even because you talk about reprogramming your mind, which is what I specialize in, helping you to reprogram. So they say they've done manifestation, they've done that, they've done that. What else can you tell them? Where is the basic as well? What can they do? They said they've done everything in their lives. What can they do?
I was once in that sphere of saying I've tried everything, but when you reprogram your mind, it's not only for your benefit, it's not for only you to receive, but you must also give. And you're not giving, I'm not talking about giving money. You must be present, you know. I think what I've also kind of like got good at is speaking to myself. Speaking to yourself. If it doesn't feel okay, that means it's not okay, because the one person that is honest to you is you. So it's a recurring, it's not an overnight thing or something that's going to happen in a week and everything is fine. We'll always be having challenges, but when those challenges come, and also I picked up that sometimes when challenges come, if it's a repetitive thing, when every time you are experiencing one thing over and over with different people, that means there's something that you need to learn from that situation. And if it keeps on coming back, what are you not learning? Why are you so stubborn? I also want to touch to, because relationships as well, they can actually like a lot of women wish they had like that one person they could trust with all their lives, you know. And I understand that a lot of women would say, no, but my relationships last only 3 months and they're gone, you know. And then on to the next person, on to the next person, on to the next person. And the next time you have 300 body counts. Still, you haven't found your one. But what are you telling? What is your spirit telling you? What is it that you're not listening to? Why you keep on attracting the same persons, you know, the same person in different bodies? You understand? So the person that you need to listen to is yourself. And also, I need to touch on the law of cause and effect, the law of karma. You know, the best person that can reprimand you is you. Is you. What you do to the next person, whether it's bad, it's going to come back to you. What you do to the next person, if it's good, it's going to come back to you. So the more good you do, the more good comes to you. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. We are in a class, guys, to be a coach. This is what we learn as well. So I'd like you for us to explain to us, let's say you're explaining to a 7-year-old or 8-year-old. What is reprogramming the mind? Because at times we use this word so loosely and we assume everyone understands.
So reprogramming your mind, it also comes back to self-talk. You know, it comes back to self-talk. You know, mabathi umuntu ukhuluma i-1 uyahlanya. It's okay to be crazy. It's okay. Something great is going to come out of it. You understand? So I have a 9 and 11-year-old and 2 different people coming from the same womb, but they are both dreamers. And you know how they talk, they would watch television and come and do whatever that they do, that they see on television. But I always remind them that you can be anything you want. Don't say foul things about yourself, because you have to start with them while they're young. Don't say, no, but I'm always, no, you can't say that about yourself, or you can't say that about your brother. You know, be present. You can dream. You're allowed to dream. My son will always talk about inventing something that sucks in energy into another realm. And I go like, yay! Because I'm building the confidence. I don't know what he's gonna make in the future. But I'm not gonna say, no, that is fiction. You've seen it on Star Wars. No, I cannot say that. Because if it was able to be done in a movie, it can be done in reality. Maybe he's the one that's gonna come up with it. So I wouldn't say a 7-year-old would be able to reprogram their mind, but you can build it up to being the best thing it can ever be. But for a person who's older and saying, how do I go back to basics, you know, it's actually the best move that you can do, especially if you want to grow, going back to basics, finding out who you are, what you are here for. And a lot of people, they are inclined to Christianity. You know, there's a way that you would speak to God in a prayer, but also speak to God in a conversation. And then when you have conversations, that's when the answers really come. For a person who's starting to reprogram their mind, it would be someone who's willing to unlearn as well. Someone who is willing to unlearn how they have been told things are supposed to be the certain way. Every new information that comes to you, you question it. If it feels good, you go with it, But I would also say fear needs to be absent, because fear, it is what keeps us from taking the next step. When you are trying to, when you're trying to unlearn and reprogram yourself, yeah.
Thank you so much for that. I love that. But today you're teaching us 101, 101, understanding ourselves 101. You mentioned that speak to God in conversation. The reason I say you need to expand on this, because I see it also when I coach people. They'll say, yes, I've prayed, I've done that. But I'll say, did you sit still? I think, let me shush. How do you do that? Speaking to God in conversation. What does that entail? Because some people, they don't understand. They think like you're cuckoos, you're mad. Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you more about why did I actually get to that particular point where I said, you know what, let me rather talk to my father. And my mother laughed at me when I said, I feel like Jesus Christ is my big brother. Since I'm a fragment of God and he's a fragment of God, he calls me a brethren, and we call the same, I can't say the same energy, father. Doesn't that make us siblings? He's my big brother. So that's how close I feel, how close I feel like I'm with him. So I grew up a Christian. And a Sunday school, raised by a pastor, all the way, like I was crazy. Bemo sister C of high heels and 6-inch, pencil skirts and all. And I remember when I met my husband, he said he didn't go to church, and I said, well, if you're gonna be my husband, you better know that you will be at church every Sunday or else. So those were my rules, and that I was that kind of Christian, So fast forward 2021, I went to initiation. Two different things. So I always say my bread is buttered both ways. I've experienced church, I've experienced African spirituality, and I've grasped knowledge from both, and that's why I'm here, and of which I'm grateful for both. So my journey in initiation didn't end very well. It was very harsh, and I remember I was crying, I think 2 days, 3 days after I came back home, and I said, all the time that I spent there doing exactly what I thought I was meant to do. And the Spirit came and said, you did all you were meant to do there. And I said, what is that? And then it reminded me of my journey pounding herbs, learning what this herb does, and all of that. And I said, then what now? And I remember my mom was still trying to pull me back into the church. And I was like, nah. And I said, God, I looked for you in many places. I looked for you in ways that no one could ever imagine. I am ready for you. And I wasn't praying. I was just sitting, just doing nothing. I said, I am ready for you, and you know where I am. You will find me right here where I am. But my heart is ready. And then this marital cosmetics came up. All these things started unfolding. And from that time, every time I find myself having questions or wanting to communicate, I'll just go into self. Even sitting with people, I'll be communicating with God, having a conversation. I don't have to be moving my lips. He lives within me. You understand? So that's me having personal conversations with answers. So that's my way of praying, thanking him. Every single minute, you don't literally have to put time aside, because when you say you're going to pray at 9 p.m., trust me, darling, you're going to feel tired and you're going to bed. You're not going to have time. You're not going to have time to pray. You need to pray when you think about praying, right there. Whether you're in a taxi or on the road, have a conversation with who you are, which is God. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to add this. But it's not visible. It's called So it's called Conversation with God. It's a book 1, book 2, and book 3 series. It's quite amazing. So if you want to have that conversation, do get it. Let's see if yes, that is the book. So you can see I've highlighted so many because I love this book. I always read it. So thank you for sharing that. So with what you have shared today, why was it so important that you shared this message?
Okay. It's because finally I feel like the problems that I thought were problems are not problems anymore. Finally, I feel like I've punched through the ceiling, Finally, I am not feeling like I'm doing something wrong. Finally, I feel like right now, today, I'm on the right path. I'm where I am meant to be. I am meant to do, I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing, Yeah. And obviously, well, my journey is just so vast. There's just a whole lot of stories, but I just felt like it's something that we needed to touch so that there were times whereby I felt suicidal because things were not going on the right way in my life and da. But the fact that I'm here today, so it's literally saying there's always hope. There's always a way. And my way may not be the same way for you. You just need to find your path. But you need to be here to be walking that path.
Thank you for that. So the next question is Marito Naturals. What are the products that you sell in case somebody is interested? And I know with us, the products that you did, they're quite amazing. We had to craft them. So, but for someone who like to try, because you mentioned that you go out to the market for people to try. So what do you sell? in case there's someone who wants to buy, and also share your details, your numbers as well.
At Marito, we manufacture skincare. So we have a range of soaps, which is natural handcrafted soaps. So we have like charcoal, turmeric, hibiscus, moringa. What else do we have? Kaolin clay, those are soaps. And we also import African black soap from Ghana. And we have whipped shea butter that is infused with moringa and neem with lemongrass and sweet orange. The shea butter you can use like either for your hair, for your body, or your face. So I use it all over. And we have nourishing body oil. It's actually, we call it nourishing glow oil because it does really make you glow. It's infused with turmeric and neem, lemongrass, and other oils, other carrier oils. We also do have hair oil, hair growth oil that is infused with cloves, fenugreek, tea tree, rosemary, coconut oil, and castor oil. There's neem there, there's moringa there. I'm crazy about neem because it's a vast herb that you can literally use internally and externally. So yeah, it's known as also a soothing. It does really soothe the skin, especially when you have like a bite or itchiness or eczema, psoriasis, or whatsoever. So yeah, and we also import batana oil. That is one of our best sellers as well. And we also do make bath salts, So with our bath salts, we have four variants. We have so I call it the money maker. So, and then people laugh at me why I do that because of this always like this great testimonies after that. But so it's our bath salts that has honey bush tea and cinnamon. And I always say, you can get close to use with it. And we have the camphor block and lavender. We have one with bentonite clay. It feels like you're having like a mud bath, You kind of like incorporate all these natural things just to remove toxins and so on. And our fourth one is rose petal and lavender for self-love, where you really need to center yourself and say, listen, Dolly, I love you as you have your bath. Yeah. And we also have an extension from what we manufacture. We also white label superfoods like chia seeds, flax seeds, ashwagandha, and fenugreek seeds. All of those things are medicinal. So we also teach you how you can use them, how you can take one packet and use it for your hair, for your gut, for your skin, one little product. Yeah. And we also do bespoke products whereby if you have like a certain ingredient or a certain herb that you would want to incorporate in your skincare or anything that you use, we can make up a product for you. And also we're helping people to start their own brands as well, whereby we have like consultations with them and we sit and create a whole new product and brand it and sell it as your own. So it's not only to say, no, we want to be the only one that is manufacturing, but you know what, we can use this to also empower other people. And I understand when I went into making my own skincare, people were saying, no, but the industry is so saturated. Every industry is saturated. It doesn't mean you don't have to have what is meant for you. It doesn't mean you don't have to have your own skincare brand or your own healthcare brand, wellness brand. No, go in there. There's enough money for everyone. Everyone has got their own success. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. You didn't give us your number. How does one buy? Because even the products for the retreat is the bespoke. So she's using different essential oils, mixing them and all that. So I'm so excited. I can't wait to see the products. So you can ask her, because there are people who are looking for money. So she can do it, because you might say, this is what I want to do, but I can't do it. And white labeling is the in thing at the moment. We can see with perfumes, people are doing white labeling. So you could do the same. So why not find someone who's so in love with it? You should, when you meet her on a consultation, you can just feel the excitement and how she does, because it's the same with when you go to a restaurant and you can feel the food. If the chef was making that food with love, it's like you can feel all the tiny things as well. So that is what you do when you get to a consultation. So I'll encourage you to reach out to her, provided she give us her number.
It's muted. Okay, right. I'll give you my number. So you can get me on any social media, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. It's Marito Naturals. And I'm not a frequent poster because you cannot be good at everything, you know. And my number is 076 90 30 997. Yeah. And we're currently working on our website. So as soon as it's launched, we will post on our socials.
Repeat the number.
076 90 30 997.
I trust you have, the number is there, so I'm showing it so you can do a screenshot to those who are watching if you're listening to this as a recording. So follow her on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, and you can send a number. So this is another stream of income. We need at least 7 streams of income, and it depends unto you what you really need. And I believe this message will be listened to those who really need to listen to this, because I believe there's never a coincidence. With everything that we have shared today, if you have got questions and you want to be part of Join the Conversation, there's still slots for you to participate. You can send a number to 060-5086-165. And you can join us on the retreat as well. And if you need coaching to reprogram your mind, you can use the same number and book a discovery session, because it's important we interview each other. I don't work with someone who just says. So part of coaching is to interview each other and say if we work together. So that is important. With that being said, Dolly, anything else that you want to share as we're about to end? I enjoyed this. I've learned a lot, and I trust those who will be listening and who have been part of this, you have learned a lot. And as you're talking, I thought of, we need to talk about the different essential oils, different whatever herbs we have in the kitchen, the cloves, the cinnamon, and learn, because that is your natural healing herbs in the kitchen. So your kitchen has got your own medication. So I think we need to have that discussion in the next session. Maybe in August, come back and just teach people so that they can learn. Because some people find that lack of knowledge, people, they don't have time to read because of TikTok and everything. But I know if you share, they'll always remember your face. They'll remember what you said as well, and you'll start planting seeds.
Yeah. We can do that. I'm game. We can arrange a date and whereby we can just sit and just yeah, we can do it. Yeah, it's not a problem. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. So as we go, what is your final word? For me, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you still have got questions, do write them. And if you want to be part of this, do send me a message. It has been an honor. This week has been a lot of learning. So thank you for tuning in. So to our guest, what is your final word?
My final word is that, okay, I know it will feel like I'm starting a whole new topic, but right now you see a lot of people coming out, answering the call either as 𝗖l'acquisite or whatever. And from what I've learned from that, my final word would say, when you go to consult, even to come to you as Coach Mashudu, you must be willing to work on yourself. There is no amount of medicine or herbs that is going to miraculously remove your afflictions. You must be willing to work on yourself. That's when it starts, because you can go to 7 different healers and they tell you about the aunt that is bewitching you and your colleague that hates you, where everybody hates you, where you have money, blah, 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 blah. If you have not started doing the self-work, you will keep on walking, knocking on doors until you look within yourself. 80% of what you're going through is because of you. It's not inflicted on you. It's self-affliction. Yes, you can laugh. Sorry, I'm done.
I trust me, Muzile. It's about taking ownership, and because just to add, the 3 fingers are pointing you. So how are you addressing the 3 fingers? And thank you so much. We've got Noel saying beautiful life. Thank you so much. Marito is an extremely gifted being. Akwande, thank you so much for tuning in. Do tag your friends as well. I forgot to mention that. Tag your friends, those you believe need to listen to this conversation, because this conversation was quite transformational, was healing, and some of it is new knowledge to some. And at times, what I've learned is that because someone was saying, has someone spoken about mental health on during the conversation? And I told him, it doesn't matter. You can come and talk about mental health, but you speak it from your own perspective, because we've got 16 personality types. So come and share, because there's someone who needs to hear the way you word it, the way you say it. There's no competition. That's why we say your clients will find you. It doesn't matter where they are. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.